everybody, and welcome to another amazing video of DIY investing. I have a special breakdown covering one of the new pre-sale tokens that's coming out that I think is going to be providing some massive gains in the market. The last pre-sale we covered did over 16x gains at launch, and I got a lot of confidence that this is going to be another one of those big winners. We're going to be mapping out the price of Bitcoin, talking about this short-term reversal we're seeing. Are we going to end up seeing this thing going into a new all-time high very soon? Is the correction over? We're also going to be jumping into Chainlink because Chainlink is now starting many new projects. They're launching new projects through their incubator, and I got a lot of confidence that anybody that's investing into some of these new projects building under Chainlink are going to make a lot of money. So I wanted to break them down, share with you guys what the charts are showing us so that we can be best prepared to make this financial fortune for ourselves long term. For anybody that finds value in this, please do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing. For anybody that wants to see how I'm investing, any altcoins I'm buying, selling, trading over the cycle, links are in the description. Go ahead and sign up on my website. Right off the bat, guys, I wanted to talk about Bitcoin. I wanted to get it in the shorter time frames and map out a little bit about what we're seeing today. In my last update, I was mapping out the potential of this being an ABC correction. And what we were wondering was how far we were going to go into this wave C. We had finished wave 1, we had finished wave 3 and wave 4, and we were sitting right about up here waiting to determine whether we were going to get one more final low. Now that's what I drew, and that's exactly what we did get, but it just barely broke below our support, right? You know, overall this was mainly just a retest. We have just been consolidating right at the same sort of level of support, right around $61,000. So as it stands, because Bitcoin has reclaimed this support, I wouldn't be surprised if this does end up marking the bottom. You know, maybe we consolidate and go back up to some of these higher levels, kind of come back down, do something like this before we get that breakout. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing range for a little bit longer before we do end up getting a big breakout. This would be the most ideal scenario. The more time we spend going sideways, the better. You know, I don't really want to see us just go instantly into a new all-time high so fast. I like the opportunity to be able to accumulate. I like the opportunity to be able to get in at a lower price. And obviously when the market is trending sideways, when Bitcoin's consolidating, oftentimes altcoins are running throughout that entire time. So we're currently sitting at about a little over a month inside of this consolidation. I wouldn't be surprised to see us at about 60 days before we did start breaking out. So looking at about a couple months inside of this consolidation, even inside of this move, if we run all the way back up to the range highs, don't be surprised to see us pull back once more before we officially get that next breakout. But the big picture thing is we're looking at the long-term basis. We're looking at this breaking out and going into price discovery. So with this currently just consolidating right on top of those prior all-time highs, I got a lot of confidence that this thing is going to end up breaking out, and we're going to end up seeing this thing move to about 90 to 100,000. So the big thing to understand is as Bitcoin is getting closer and closer to the breakout of this all-time high and going into price discovery, this is always right before altcoins run the hardest. Altcoins are going to end up moving once Bitcoin goes into price discovery, once those Bitcoin whales take their profit on Bitcoin and start to diversify it back into some of these other projects, being altcoins mainly. That's what I do believe is getting ready for us next. Once we do get outside of this all-time high, we might have another month of consolidation, about another 20 days to be more exact, worth of consolidation before we do get that move. But that's along the lines of what I'm watching for. Coming over here, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Chainlink, because Chainlink has been a big focus of mine all the way since the last cycle, and it's once again a huge focus of mine because there really isn't DeFi without Chainlink, and every single major DeFi project and virtually all projects as a whole in crypto rely upon Chainlink at some point. So when we're looking at Chainlink, we know that it's basically the epicenter of all things cross-chain in the market. Really, you can't process data, you can't transfer money cross-chain efficiently without using Chainlink or, you know, somebody that's using Chainlink. And so when I'm looking at this, I've been really optimistic about the idea of holding Chainlink even, you know, 4+5 years down the line. We're talking long-term basis because Chainlink has more partnerships than almost anybody. Every single project relies upon Chainlink. And when you're looking at the rest of the projects out there, there just isn't that many out there that are genuinely needed, right? Where there's other big projects that rely upon this one thing. That's Chainlink for you guys. And so what the big things that I think is going to be valuable this cycle is now Chainlink is actually incubating projects. So I wanted to get into a little bit more detail around what that means. So inside of an incubation, they basically provide networking, they provide marketing help, they provide money and resources and development, devs and things like that, to make sure that the project does well. That's what a launchpad is. The launchpad incubates the projects, they provide the marketing support, they provide all of the resources to make sure that the project's, you know, gonna last long term. The thing about Chainlink is they own $21 billion worth of Chainlink token that they're just sitting on trying to decide what to do with. They've made all of this value, so what they're doing is they're taking that $21 billion and they're investing it into building new projects built under Chainlink. And that's why I think that there's going to be so much value made for anybody that's understanding this, for anybody that's early to these new projects launching, because if Chainlink was able to do this, and with the backing that Chainlink has, with the network Chainlink has, now that they're going to be launching their own projects, I got a lot of confidence that anybody early to these is going to make a lot of money. And the truth of the matter is, when we're coming over here, there's not a project that I'm more excited about than what we're seeing over here with XSwap. XSwap is going to be the very first incubated project under this new CCIP program. So when we're looking at Chainlink CCIP, this is going to be the very first incubated project under Chainlink, and this is going to be the very first one, and it's a cross-chain swap. So basically, the big issue that we have in the world is we have all of these new chains, but none of the chains can communicate with each other. I can't send, my Pulse chain to Ethereum, and I can't send my Arbitrum to Optimism, and vice versa. So what do? Well, we do nothing. We have to use a bridge. It's expensive. We eat the gas fees, and it takes a long time. So enter XSwap. XSwap is a cross-chain swap platform. Not only that, they've got their swap. You can swap between a number of different chains, and they're only going to be adding more. This is just the beta. But they also have a bridge to bridge amongst all of these. So not only do they have a swap, but they have the bridge. And they've already transacted over $80 million worth of volume. So $80 million worth of volume, we can come over here and take a look at them. There was one thing I want to talk to you guys a little bit about, go into detail. XSwap is the first token led and brought to the market by Chainlink's incubator. Chainlink has $21 billion worth of Link tokens sitting here ready to invest into these projects. So this is the big thing on why I think that these are going to blow up so well. I mean, you guys know, this is the project that we're looking into, but the last pre-sale we covered did 16x at launch, right? This was the last project pre-sale that we covered, and it did 16x from the low to the high, and we've kind of just been consolidating sideways ever since. But this is one of the things, guys, if you're looking to get in early, the people that make the most money in the market are people that get into the launch pads, people that get early to the pre-sales, because every single time they list, they just pump super hard. So, I mean, it's kind of hard not to make a lot of money. So when we're looking at all of these, this is the next up-and-coming launch that's going to be taking place on Ape Terminal, and they're only raising a couple $100,000, so chances are the upside potential will be pretty big, considering, when we zoom out, I wanted to come over and actually look at XSwap's Twitter. XSwap has over almost 80,000 followers. They're obviously backed by Chainlink. They don't even have a token out, and they're already this big. When you zoom down here, you can see all of the biggest influencers working with them. You can see partners with a lot of the biggest companies in crypto, 80 million in transaction volume, 150,000 platform users. There's staking and buyback and burn. So as long as this token is getting volume, you're going to have a buyback and a burn taking place to make it deflationary. And I honestly just only see this thing going up. Every single day, these guys post a new partnership of some kind. I've already been a huge time Chainlink bull anyways. And with Chainlink basically just retesting support down in here, I mean, there's going to be a lot more money coming into these markets. The thing that makes me excited is knowing how much money I just made off of Satoshi Sync and how much money a lot of you guys made because you messaged me about it. And then knowing that we're about to have arguably a bigger one coming up next, being XSwap, because this is the very first incubated project under Chainlink. And you guys know I'm so bullish on Chainlink, so I kind of have a lot of confidence that as Chainlink is about to reverse, because when I'm looking at the chart of Chainlink, this thing looks like it's coming all the way up to the top of this lower high, being 37 to 40 bucks. We're just making the first higher high of our new cycle, right? So realistically, where we're at right here is just the disbelief phase, where we've gone through this big bear market. We had this big crash, we went sideways, and now you make the first impulse to begin the new cycle. You get a little bit of new volume coming in here. Only once the correction happens, everybody writes it off, everybody assumes it's dead, and this is what always ends up happening right before you get that next major reversal into the cycle. It's the Wall Street cheat sheet 2.0. We can kind of see it right here. Notice how once we round out, go through all of this, and you start that first higher high, that's the disbelief phase, and it happens twice. Down here before the cycle, and down here before the cycle. So when I'm seeing the same setup, we just made our first higher high. We're currently flipping that as new support. We're about to start this brand new bull run, and I don't find it coincidental. So Chainlink has all this billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of wealth that they can now implement into some of these new projects launching. And I honestly think that there's going to be a lot of upside potential for anybody that's investing into this narrative. The Chainlink CCIP program is going to be huge, mainly because every single project relies upon Chainlink to some degree. I mean, Chainlink is going to be here. If you believe in crypto, Chainlink is for sure going to be one of the top projects. So by having that backing in crypto, by being one of the top 3, I would argue, in the market as a whole, as far as most needed, I would say Bitcoin, I would say Ethereum, and then I would say Chainlink after that. And, you know, you can make arguments as far as who's to follow after that. But Chainlink is needed so much in this market, and I cannot even stress that enough. So when we're talking about them now finally being able to launch projects with all of this money that they've built from these prior cycles, you know, Chainlink made a ton of money in this last bull run, and they've got all of that money just sitting here. So now that they're going to be investing this into incubation projects, making sure that they're growing their own ecosystem, not only is it going to benefit tokens for the Chainlink holders, not only is it going to benefit the token holders of Chainlink, but it's going to benefit the people that are investing into the new projects that they're funding. So I think this is going to be a really good one. You guys have about a day and a half to go ahead and actually register for this IDO. Now, I think it's $250 per ticket to lottery ticket to opt in. So you do have to actually get drawn out of the lottery if you're going to get it. So just be aware of that. But the big thing I want you guys to be aware of is looking at some of these prior cycles, mainly coming down here and looking at Ape Terminals launches. 12x, 15x, 18x, 286, 19x, 33x, 7x, 7x, 4x, 21, 10, 36. This is the track record of Ape Terminal. They have a track record of launching absolutely, you know, stellar projects. The last one we covered did 16x. This one has more of a backing than even the last project we bought did. So I just kind of have a feeling it's going to be another one of those big ones. So I wanted to give you guys a breakdown, get anybody the opportunity to get into this as they can. I'm going to link everything in the description. I participated in the pre-sale of Satoshi Sync, and I'm definitely participating into the pre-sale of XSwap as well. So I'm going to link them in the description for anybody else that wants to participate. You know, there's a lot of fun things. Keep in mind that you do have to register within a day and a half, and this is going to end. So just be aware of those. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys do want to see how I'm investing my money, links are in the description. Go ahead and sign up on my website to join my private Discord server. Thank you guys so much for the support. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, peace out.